Hi, everybody, and welcome. I just wanted to spend a few minutes here clarifying the offerings that we have at Impact Martial Arts for both in-studio classes and online options. I know there's been lots of things floating around online with different Zoom links and a little bit of changes to the schedule in the new year. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was very clear on everything that we're offering, and that way you can make the most of your training and understand all the options that you do have and that we offer. So the first thing is understanding how many classes per week. So if you're a Tiny Tiger, we have one class per week for you, and it can be online or in the studio. If you're in the Little Dragons program, that's two classes per week. You could do all online, all in the studio, or a combination of those. And then if you're in the youth or adult program, you have the option of up to three classes in the studio and unlimited number of the online offerings that we have. Keep in mind that if you are training in the studio, there are specific days that you are scheduled to come right now because of the pandemic situation. So just make sure you know which days you're supposed to be coming to class so we can keep the classes balanced and not have a class that's overcrowded. Okay, so basically, if you're training, you have in the studio classes or you have classes that are online. If you're going to train in the studio, then you're following the studio schedule, which I'm going to show you. If you're training online, though, and I think this is where a lot of the confusion is, there are two different options for online classes, and you are able to do both of these. So the first option is the live stream classes. So for these, we're running these classes at the studio. There are students in person in the studio. We have the cameras set up, and you can zoom in from home and take part in that class. So that's what that is. And so for that reason, that's going to follow the studio schedule. However, the other option, which I think some people are a little bit confused about, is this Zoom only at home option. So this is where the instructors are not in the studio. The instructors are at home. They're only working with students on Zoom. So there are no uh, people live in front of them in person. Everybody's on the computer, and we offer those for Tigers and Dragons on Tuesdays, and we offer those for all youth and adult students on Tuesdays and on Thursdays as well. So I'm going to go over that schedule now. Before I do, the Zoom links, there's one link for the live stream class, and there's a separate link for the at-home classes. So we have the stream, the online Zoom classes, and we post those periodically on Facebook through our Remind app on text and also an email. We're not going to send them out every single day and blow up people's inboxes, but we will send them out from time to time just to remind people of what those links are. But the streaming classes from the studio will always have the same link, and the at-home classes, Zoom-only classes, will have their own separate link. There was a little bit of mix-up on that first night after New Year's on the 12th about which link, and that was a mistake on our part between us and Mr. Lou Donahue. But we've got that all rectified, and I think we should be good going forward with that. So here's the schedule. I'm not going to go through every single little slot here, but this is the in-studio schedule. So we typically run Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8:30 or so, and then Saturdays in the morning. The Zoom schedule is over here, so we have the 5 o'clock option for Tigers and Dragons on Tuesdays, and then Tuesday and Thursday we have Zoom options for all youth and adult students. And then just a few reminders. So for the in-studio classes, keep in mind that all students need a face covering when they enter, so that's a mask or a shield. Students should not enter the studio until an instructor allows them in. This helps us manage the numbers in the studio, make sure that we're not overcrowded, etc. Um, Sanitize the hands when entering and exiting the studio. We've been doing really well with that, and I just want to keep that up. We cleared out some space here, and now we're able to allow bags and equipment to go in the locker rooms. We're not allowing people to go changing in the locker rooms just yet, but now if you bring a bag or weapons or etc. for class, those can go in the locker rooms rather than laying in the lobby. Another important note, So students are not being monitored when they're outside. We're teaching classes and so forth. So I want to say that the best thing to do is to wait in the car until it's time for your class. Um, just keep in mind that we're not out there watching the children. So if you drop your kid off and then leave, there's nobody there to watch them until they come in the studio. And also that we can't you know, pay close attention to social distancing guidelines for the people who are outside the studio and manage classes at the same time. So, we're leaving that up to you to help us out. And the best thing to do is to wait in the car if possible. And if not, then just to manage distance while being outside. I also wanted to remind people that we have an awesome training library on YouTube. We have over 300 videos, instructional videos on YouTube, and playlists that go along with that with hand techniques and kick techniques, etc. So you have that option available to you as well. And then just a reminder about if you're experiencing any symptoms, to stay home because you have these online options. I think that's your best bet. So we're asking you to stay out of the studio if you're experiencing any type of symptoms. Again, I want to thank you for all your support. Hopefully this clarified some of the points for you. We'll be sending those links for Zoom out again just to try to clarify everything that's going on, and hope that made things a little bit easier for you. Thank you again for your support.